Wow. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Oh my god. Wow. I feel like I haven't spoken to you guys in so long. I'm, as you can tell, getting over a little bit of a cold. Not COVID, just really a cold. I've tested negative and everything. And I haven't had really much of a chance to talk to you guys and film just because I live with my family still, so it's always noisy. I've been out of the country, out of the state, and I just haven't had a time to film, but I'm back. And thank you guys so much for those who are still subscribed, waiting for me. I will be posting my best, disappointing, and worst reads of 2021 soon. I'm planning on filming that next week. So today, however, I just want to talk to you guys about what books I've been reading so far, because I went crazy in December and I read like everything. I read a lot in December. So let's just get into it. I'm literally filming this at like 7 p.m., maybe 8, and I have to be quick because who the hell knows when I'm gonna have this free time again. And as you can tell, I'm literally in my bedroom. Like, that's how desperate I was to film. I was like, I just need to sit down and talk. Okay, so let's get into it. I hope, look at my nails, they're so cute. Yes, I got them off TikTok. You know who I got them off of. There you go. Okay, so the last book that I'm just literally gonna go, I was gonna go in order that I have them here. I literally just have the stack stuck in my library. I just kept on adding stuff to it in November and December, and I was like, these are the books you're gonna talk about. So the last book, this was the last book I read in 2021. This helped me complete my Goodreads challenge goal. And this is The Hole by Ha Young Pyun. And this was good. This is basically, I got this recommendation off of Noelle's channel, Noelle Gallagher here. I got this when I was watching one of her book hauls, I want to say. And this one is basically how it literally is described is Misery Meets the Vegetarian. It's supposed to be kind of like a Misery, like a take on Misery. And it's a bestseller in Korea, right? So it's from Korea, and it was translated by Sora Kim Russell. So this is very short. I think it's like less than 200 pages, like 190 pages. Basically what happens is we have this guy who wakes up from a coma, and he finds out that he was in an accident, right? So when he was driving, he was in an accident with his wife, and his wife is dead, and he is now paralyzed, and they don't know if he's ever going to get function in his limbs, or if he'll be able to speak again. So this one, okay, so after he wakes it up, you know, so he's basically like reeling from that, and then his mother-in-law comes, right, and says, I'm going to take care of you. And when she brings him home, pretty much is the same scenario as Misery, where psychological, I don't want to say torture, but like there's some psychological like distress, and there's something wrong with her. She could be mourning, but she could not be. And she basically starts digging this hole in his backyard that gets bigger and bigger and bigger every time she comes over. The way that this ends is very blunt, very abrupt. I love the way it ends, though. It kind of ends in a cliffhanger, kind of not. And we see two timelines, right? So we see what he's currently going through right now, like what he's suffering through, but we also see like how his marriage with his wife was, and how his friendships were, his job, his family ties. And it's very interesting how, even though it's only 191 pages, we got a clear sense of who he is, who his wife is, who the mother-in-law is, and also current time, how she's basically crazy. It was good. I think it was good. I saw that it does have very low scores in Goodreads, and I think I can see why. It literally just 191 pages, but it very much gave me, it actually gave me a nightmare, honestly, like a little bit of a nightmare. It left me unsettled, it left me sad, and it left me terrified of ever being put in this position. So I recommend it. I gave it 4 stars. Very happy that this was my last read of 2020, but I see why it's not for everybody. So maybe check it out first and then buy it. But I say read it. I haven't read Misery though, so I can't compare it to Misery, but I liked it. So if Misery is like this, then I'll be a happy gal. And then I read my book of the month pick. I don't know if it was November, December. My December book of the month pick. This is A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham. Basically, yeah. So we have our main character, Chloe. And when she was young, she basically helped the police catch her father, who was a serial killer, right? He killed teenage girls. 20 years later, she's a therapist. She's trying to move on. She has a fiance, and then all of a sudden the killings are happening again, and this time they're in her hometown and she's right at the center of it. So everybody's like, okay, well, her dad got life. Is this a copycat? Was her dad not actually the killer? The plot twist was okay. I gave this thing 3 or 2 points. I think I gave this 2.5 stars, 3 stars. It was good. It was a quick read. I didn't really have any interest in the characters. It was more so the mystery aspect of it. It was okay. The mystery aspect was okay, right? Like, I did care. Like, again, dual timelines. So we saw what happened with the dad, like how he got captured, how she helped the police. And then we're seeing currently, right, how she's dealing with that. And also this new serial killer that might be amok, right? That might be loose somewhere. So we do see that. Okay, but I didn't really care. I didn't really care about the characters. It was more so I was just intrigued, like, who did this? Like, what's happening, right? So I guess the plot is good, but the characters are not there. Again, it was a quick read. I think I read this like in one day. The plot twist, it did get me. I didn't see it coming, but I wasn't like, oh my God, this just made it like a 4.5 or a 5-star read. It was just like, oh, okay, there's the plot twist. Next. Would I recommend this to mystery lovers? No. But is it worth like $10 as an add-on? Maybe. It's okay. Yeah, it was just like your general standard mystery. Nothing crazy. Nothing to like write home about. But Tools of Engagement by Tessa Bailey. I think I gave this 3.5 stars. This is going to make an appearance on one of my lists, and spoiler alert, it's not my best books. It's not in my best books of 2021. This is the last book in the, what is it, Hot and Hammered series by Tessa Bailey, right? I love the first one, Fix Her Up, love that one. I absolutely adored the second one, Lose Her or Love Her, chef's kiss. Dominic, chef's kiss. However, this one follows Wes and Bethany. So Bethany is the last of the central trio, friends, group, right, gals. She's kind of like a princess, but she works hard and she basically wants to be taken seriously now, and she wants to be a girl boss. She wants to be a girl boss. Let her be a girl boss. However, she also deals with her own anxieties and her own stress, and low-key, I think she's a Virgo moon. And Wes is the newcomer. He's kind of like a cowboy. He has his niece that he's taking care of. And here's the thing. I didn't care, and that's why it got me so mad, because I love Bethany. Like, I thought Bethany was so cool. I was like, I want to be her, like, when I grow up, right? Bethany, like, in the other 2 books were so good, but I don't know, there was something about this that was missing. I feel like I couldn't connect with her. There was always something that was in the middle, because I was like, with Rosie and with Georgie, love them. I was rooting for them from the very beginning, rooting for her, not because of what was happening in this book, but just because of what I had seen from her in the 2 previous books. And that sucks, because I shouldn't be doing that. I should be like, yeah, this is the star of this book. This is her book. I should be rooting for her because of that. But no, I was like, oh yeah, like, I don't know. I didn't really like that. The way that her and Wes got together was, the lead up to it, there was sexual tension there, but it wasn't like anything like fireworks, like, And then I don't like the way that there was dirty talk in this one. Dirty talk was not it. I pretty much was skimming it at one point where I was like, okay, yeah, no, this is not what I signed up for. Again, the 3rd act breakup scene was whatever. Tessa Bailey needs to work on her 3rd act breakup scene. She can't be giving me a 3rd act breakup scene when there's like 10 pages left. Because then they resolve it too quickly. And then I'm like, you see, this is why everybody hates the 3rd act breakup scene. I'm like, Tessa Bailey, you are giving the 3rd act breakup scene a bad name. Like, this is not a 3rd act breakup scene. A 3rd act breakup scene is literally in the 3rd act. So we have an entire act, not just like the last 10 pages where it's like, oh yeah, now we're fine. Doesn't work like that. I still tabbed it, but not as much. It was okay, and I'm really kind of sad and disappointed that it ended like this, a series, which is funny because people who hated the first two love this one, which kind of works a lot like that. So yeah, I like this one. I don't think it's her best though, and I think if you're going into Tessa Bailey, I would suggest her other two books. Not this one. Sorry. Not this one. I'm so sad because I had such a good promise. Like, ugh. Okay, and then I read The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. This was so good. This was so good. This one basically follows our 6 chosen ones, right? They have special powers, and they are chosen by the Alexandrian Society to kind of study with them for a year, and at the very end, the 5 of them will be chosen to be initiated into the Alexandrian Society, and they're promised wealth, they're promised knowledge, they're promised prestige. However, nobody knows how the 5 are chosen, right? Like, they don't know, like, is it a democracy? Like, do our mentor, like, what's his face, Atlas, does our mentor Atlas Blakely choose? Like, what, somebody has to drop out? Like, they don't know. We find out how it happens, and this is a character-driven book. I'm telling you right now, okay? So I don't want you to read this expecting a plot and then later hating on it on Goodreads, because it doesn't deserve that. This is a character-driven book. Know that going into it, please, because I hate when people are like giving it 3 to 4 stars when they're expecting like plot and character. I'm sorry, no, there is literally no plot. There's no plot. There's like a little bit of plot here and there. This is a character-driven book. It is a character study. There are 6 characters, and they themselves are pushing the plot forward, the story forward. It follows them, and it literally is only about them. Okay, sorry, I don't want to be like gatekeeping this, but like, it's a really good book if you love character-driven books. If you love character-driven books, you're gonna fall in love with all of the characters. I promise. Like, they're so, even the one that's kind of like a dick, like, he's still cool. Like, I was still intrigued about him. I still wanted to read about him. So yeah, so just as follows that, literally just follows these 6 people going through this like year of learning and finding out how they're going to be, or if they're going to be initiated into the Alexandrian Society. It's really, really good. I get the hype. I'm really excited for the second book. I don't know how the second book's gonna happen. I don't know where it's gonna go, but I'm so excited. TikTok finally got one right. Okay, and then I read Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. This one I gave 3 stars, I think. People went in on Goodreads for the plot twist. Like, they went in. However, I like the plot twist. I thought it was okay. People were like, this is not a plot twist. It's just the author playing hide the ball. I thought it was a plot twist. I gasped. I was like, what the hell's happening? I thought it was good. Basically, we have our 2 main characters. They go to like this abandoned cathedral, right? After the wife gets an email that says, come stay for free here. You want the sweepstakes, have fun. So they come, they get snowed in. Weird stuff starts to happen, right? They hear noises, their things start missing. They get locked in places, and they're like, what the hell is happening here? Is this haunted, or is someone literally messing with us? Because what? It was good. Right, so we get different points of views from different characters, and yes, at the very end, obviously they all come together. We see how they each play roles, how they each have roles in each other's lives. Again, people didn't like the plot twist. I liked the plot twist. People said it wasn't a plot twist. I thought it was a plot twist. So see, the book of the month is very hit or miss with their mysteries, because I don't know, but I think Gabby from Gabby Reads loved this book. So okay, and then I read Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. I don't know, maybe I just wasn't having it with Tessa Bailey, but I gave this one a 3-star, right? This is kind of like inspired by Ted Lasso, like the main character. Very grumpy Sunshine, where our main character is Sunshine. She's our heroine, and she basically is walking down, I think, 5th Avenue, and she comes upon this department store, and someone comes up to her, and he's like, what would you change about this window? Like, why don't you think people are like stopping by and admiring it and going in and doing that? She tells him the truth, right? Because she's always had an aspiration to do this kind of thing, like decorate windows. And he's like, oh my God, you should come in for an interview, because we're trying to find someone else who can, you know, decorate our windows for the Christmas season. And she's like, okay, well, I'm an ex-felon. I don't know if you're ever gonna hire me, but whatever, YOLO. She submits her application, and she gets hired. So people were kind of concerned, because they're like, okay, well, the guy turned out to be the manager. like, I think he's also like, his family owns it. So they were kind of like, oh, is there going to be some like weird power dynamics, right? Is she going to feel like entitled, or not entitled, but like forced that she has to like do these like sexual things for him? No. Tessa handles it very clearly on why there isn't that kind of relationship between the two characters very well. So I will give her that. So up until like the 75% mark, as you can tell, like I tapped the hell out of this. I was like, this is giving everything it said it was going to give. It's a good Christmas romance. Is grumpy sunshine. I'm sure he is inspired by Ted Lasso. I haven't watched Ted Lasso yet, so I don't know. But he was very likable. There was sexual tension. They were like, oh my God, we can't, but we want to. Oh my God, I like you so much, but we shouldn't do this, right? It was so good. Forbidden romance, yes. However, and it was so believable. Like, even though it's very short, it's a short story, it was believable. I was like, okay, yeah, they're getting together. I was like, yeah, they can like each other. They lost me at the end though, because when they finally got together, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but like it stopped. It stopped being good. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it was because there was no more sexual tension there, or because they started like saying like, oh yeah, I might be in love with them. And I'm like, I get it. Yes, you pretty much can think, or I don't say believe, but like at least think that you're in love with someone. But they were like, no, yes, I'm in love with this person. I was like, huh? It was fine. It was kind of boring. Like I said, it was just boring at the end, where I was kind of like, okay, we need to wrap this up now. And this is a short story. I shouldn't be thinking about that in a short story. I should be like, yes, give me more. Don't end it already. So again, although that ends well, it was a very happy ending. So yeah, if you want a Christmas romance, even though Christmas is over, Disability, of course, has very good sex scenes. Even though sometimes her dirty talk is very hit or miss, this was a hit for me. Again, it was just the last act, last like 25%. Maybe she doesn't know how to end a book. Maybe that's it. Because I always have problems with how she ends books. Maybe she really just doesn't know how to end a book. I mean, I'll still read her book though. So. I'll save these two for the end. I'll save those two for the end. Okay, so then afterwards, I read XOXO by Axio. This one is inspired by K-pop, and this is what I said that I was gonna have parasocial relationship with Namjoon. Yes, I'm in a parasocial relationship with Namjoon. What do you want me to say? Do you want me to explain myself? I can't. So basically, in this one, we have our main character. She is a teenager. She goes to high school in LA. She's a very talented, I think, cellist or violinist, very talented musician, right? And so she dreams to go, not Juilliard. She dreams to one day just be, music is her life, and her mom is very, very supportive of that and tells her like, yeah, you need to go to the top music school so you can become like, you know, you can be a part of like the symphony in New York, right? She's like, yeah, hell yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. So it's very nice. And then one night she meets this guy, and they have a really fun night, you know, like fun because they're teenagers, you know, they have fun. They just have a good night out, like, right, typical teenage stuff. And then he disappears. And then she later finds out, like, and so he's just like, yeah, like, I'm gonna go back to Seoul, like Seoul, South Korea. She's like, you know what? I want to go there. She's like, I am Korean. Like, I've never been there. Like, my grandma, like, reached out to my mom, and she's sick, and my mom now wants to go, but she said I could stay in LA, but I want to go. She's like, I want to go. So she ends up going. And when she's there, she's like, yeah, whatever. Like, the guy blew me off, and now he's somewhere in Korea, but, like, whatever. Like, I'm too good for him anyways. And I was like, yeah, go off, girl. And then she finds out that, oh, he's a part of a famous K-pop group, and he's an idol. And how does she find that out? Because she meets his idol band members. So this was fun. It was fun. It was basically them just falling in love against all odds, because I don't know if you guys know idol culture, but they're not allowed to date, like, at all. Like, it's a huge scandal when an idol dates anybody, like, not even just another idol, like anybody. It's a huge scandal. Like, it's huge. Like, and it's bad. It's like looked down upon for some reason. I don't know why. So that's why he's very much like, I can't date. Like, I can't, like, it's ruined, like, one of his friends, like, who's an idol, like his group member, like, has ruined his life because he dated somebody. Like, it gets crazy. It gets crazy. But they do it against all odds. Again, it's a happy ever after. I gave it 3.5 stars. I think it was very sweet, very much young adult though. So if you don't like young adult, stay clear of this, but it was cute. So if you like young adult and you want a good romance, go for this. And then I read Red, White, and Royal Blue. Finally read it. No tabs. I don't know why I didn't tab it. I gave it 3 stars or 3.5 stars. I enjoyed it, but not really. basically this stars Alex and Henry. Alex is the first son, right? His mom is the president. Ooh, female president, right? This is like in an alternate universe of America. And we have Henry, who is a prince, and they hate each other, right? Alex hates him. Henry hates Alex because Alex hates him. They're in a very public feud, but then public feud kind of crescendos into a showdown where they destroy this very, very expensive cake at a very, very expensive wedding. And both of their PRs are like, listen, no more. You guys can't continue going on like this because it's bad. Like, it's bad PR for the United States, Great Britain. It's bad for the crown. It's bad for the presidency. Like, you guys need to stop. And so they pretty much start fake friendship. Like, they start a fake friendship, and then they both just fall in love with each other. It was okay. It was good. I mean, it was okay. Like, the romance was okay. Like, the characters were fine. Like, I enjoyed the characters. I think it was just because I had put so much weight to this because everybody loves, like, this is a book community darling. Everybody's in love with this book, that I felt it was going to give more, but it didn't. So I was disappointed. And there was a lot of stereotypes of Mexican culture in this one, like, so much. I was kind of offended at some points. I even posted it on my Instagram. I was like, oh yeah, a white person for sure wrote this book. So I didn't like that, but it was fine. Like, I won't read this again, and I might unhaul this, but it was fine. And I did cry. Okay, at the very end when she wins Texas, I did cry. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna cry because this is very sweet. I wish sometime maybe in the future this will happen, but it was okay. I think there was just moments where I was losing interest and I was kind of skimming, and I think that's kind of how I know that a book or a romance isn't working for me, when I start skimming or when I'm like, okay, we need to start wrapping this up. And then there were moments where I was kind of like, I want more angst. Like, there wasn't that much angst, and then I was just like, there has to be something that would make me love it, and nothing happened. So I'm gonna save this one for last. This one's for sure gonna be last. Okay. Oh, I'm almost done. Okay, let's talk about two Kindle limited romances that I read. So I read again The Maddest Obsession. Chris and Gianna loved it. Oh no, we're not gonna talk about them. We're not gonna talk about those two books because we don't like Daniel Laurie anymore. She is a Trumpist. She is a white supremacist. No. Next. Okay, so we are talking about Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. This one, I think, best sci-fi. Very rightfully so. I voted for this. This one, I loved it. I gave it 4 stars. Okay, so basically we have our main character, Ryland Grace, and he wakes up on a spaceship and he has no memory of what's happened. And then we slowly find out that he was sent on this spaceship, on this mission to help Earth, to help the humanity, to mankind survive. There is this kind of disease that has been plaguing us, the Earth, and will eventually kind of like kill the sun and killing us in return. And then we find out that, you know, he slowly starts to get his memories back. And those were very interesting when we were finding out like the preparation to setting him onto this mission. So interesting. I loved it. So, however, when we were on the actual mission, it was a little bit confusing, right? And I think that's why I gave it 4 stars and not 5 stars. But Andy Weir does such a good job in dumbing everything down. Like, all of this, like, astrophysicist, right? In another universe, I'm an astrophysicist. I know it. He was, like, good at dumbing down this astrophysicist stuff and, like, equations and, like, scientific stuff in such a good way that, like, I was feeling smart when reading this. I was like, oh, I understand this. But I was like, no, he's literally helping you understand this. Like, you're understanding this because of him. If it wasn't for him, you would be totally lost. So yeah. So it's very interesting. It's a hand to God sci-fi. Like, it really is it's a sci-fi book through and through. But I liked it. I enjoyed it. And I think it's a very good stepping stone to getting into sci-fi, because it was very, very, very sci-fi-esque when we had the timeline on his mission. But then when we had his flashbacks, when he was getting his memories back, it was just a good old-fashioned, like, fantasy, not really fantasy, but like good old-fashioned just like story, right? So it was like good because we had breaks in between all of like us getting loaded onto like, you know, like gravity, like the stars, like all of that. We had a good break in that by his flashbacks of, you know, just like him like getting prepared for this, right? So like meeting new people, going from country to country. So that was really cool. Okay, and then I read Heart and Soul, and I gave this one 5 stars. People hated this book because it's not a happily ever after. It's a romance, kind of romance. It's not a happy ever after. So if you're going into this, especially a happy ever after, it's not a happy ever after. It's a bittersweet ending with ambiguous opening. Like, would they, like, will they? Maybe they can. And I love that in a romance, and I'm looking for that now. So basically, we have our main character, and she's adopted by a white family. She's Korean, and she adopted at a very young age. She knows that her parents gave her up, and finally, at the beginning, we find out that she isn't really connected to her Korean side, but she's not white, right? Because even though she has white parents, she's not white, and she has no connection to her Korean side. So she's just feeling very lost, like very in the middle, and we find out that she wants to connect with her parents, and she has the opportunity to do so. So she goes to Korea, and that's when her like whirlwind K-drama life begins. It was very K-drama, very K-drama. You kind of had to suspend belief at one point, multiple points, but I liked it. It was very, very informative also on the Korean culture. There was a lot of moments where I was like, oh, I know this, but it was because like BTS K-pop stuff, but like there was like explanations about societal norms. There was explanations about like the language, like the different language that are used, you know. It was very, very, very informative, and I thought that was really cool, really interesting. And the romance was nice. I love the romance. The romance was K-drama to a T. So again, you have to suspend belief for a few moments. But it's not a happy ever after whatsoever. So it's a very bittersweet ending. So I want you to know that again, because a lot of people slammed this on Goodreads because they're like, oh, I came into this expecting a happy ending and I didn't get that. So I'm giving it like a 2-star. So please, if you're reading this, know that it's not a happy ever after. Please go into this knowing that you are going to have kind of a bittersweet ending. And, you know, the main characters are not going to end up together, or like the romance is not going to end up together. So keep that in mind, please. As you can tell, I've been traumatized a little bit. And then I read Jade City. I read Jade City by Fondly. And this was, I literally wrote so much like, oh my God, I love this. But Hilo. I cried about Hilo. I literally should input like videos. I had old drafts that got deleted because Instagram drafts automatically deleted of me crying over Hilo because he was a fictional character and I can't love him in real life. I love Hilo so much. Oh my God, I'm so happy I finally read this, but I'm kind of sad that I waited so long. But I did take so long to read this because I wanted the trilogy to end, because I knew I was going to end up. I was like, I'm going to love this so much, and I know I'm not going to be able to wait for the third book. So I'm not even going to start it until third book's out. And it's out now, and I have it, so. Okay, so this one we have this world where, not even this world, yeah, this world, but really this island where Jade rules, right? Jade, the actual like gem, rules. Basically, we have these different types of, I don't want to say different, not different types, but like, yeah, like different ancestries, right? Different ethnicities. Some are green jade warriors, right? Some are green bone warriors, and they have the ability to wield jade, and that means that they have more strength, more speed. They can like sense people. They can like, it's very crazy. They basically become superheroes. And then we have people who can hold it, who can like have it, but they can't like use it without basically going crazy eventually. And then we also have people, stone-eyed, who can hold the jade and they won't get anything from it. Like they won't go like super speed, like basically Super Saiyan, but they can hold it, and they are kind of low-key like the most dangerous because they can steal, they can like steal for other people, right? They can sell, and they are not going to get detected because they don't get enhanced, so people don't realize that they are holding jade. So basically we follow, right? So at the beginning, we know that there are two real major clans at power. One is slightly more powerful than the other one. We have the Call clan, right? So that's Hilo's clan and Lan. Lan is the pillar of the Jade clan. Oh my God, can I speak? Lan is the pillar, right? So that means he's the leader of the Call clan. And then we have the Mountain clan. The Mountain clan is very more green bone warriors rule. Everybody else has to submit. The Call clan, however, realizes that we're not in the same era as before, and that we kind of have to start working with foreigners, right? We have to start working in harmony with foreigners, right? With other people who have no idea what jade is, right? But they know it's worth a lot of money. The Mountain clan is like, no, We rule, everybody else submits, even the foreigners. So that's basically the premise of this world. And then we start, obviously have clans fighting, and we have different characters going on different journeys. This is such a good book. This is such a good book. It's such a good fantasy, just a good fantasy, period. Like, it's so freaking good, right? So we have politics, we have characters, we have plot, we have a rich plot, we have rich characters. We have politics that are just like, it's crazy because it's just like this person's working for this person, then we have this person who's spying on this person, then we have this person who they want to spy on this person. Like, it's just so good, and you fall in love with everybody, and you absolutely hate who you're supposed to hate. Like, it's just amazing, and everybody should read this book, and I'm obsessed with it, and I'm literally taking my time reading because there's only 3 books. There's only 3 books, and then I'm done. And there was literally moments where I was just like, that happened, where I was like plot twist and gasp, and I was literally just straight up pleading with my book. I was like, please undo what you just did. Like, there was moments where I was just like, nope. I was like, nope. I was like, that didn't happen. I was like, please tell me that didn't happen. I was like, please, 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 please tell me that didn't happen. I was like, please change it. Please change it. Like, Jade City is just so freaking good, and I think everybody should read it. Why isn't everybody reading it? Why isn't everybody reading it? Like, go and read it. It's so good. Okay. And then I read The Broken Girls by Simone St. James. Obviously I give this one 5 stars. I give this one 4 stars. Basically, in this one we have, I don't know if you guys have read this, any Simone St. James, but she does a thing where she follows 2 people on different, she follows 2 people from 2 different timelines, right? And they're usually like related, or they know each other. And so in this one, it's this girl who is a reporter. No, this girl whose sister died. I read this one like a long time ago. His sister died on the grounds of this campus, right? And it used to be like an all-girls boarding school. Years ago, it was abandoned because just bad stuff always happened and nobody wanted it. And so her sister's murder has never been solved, or it kind of has, but like people are kind of like downing it because they're like, oh, I don't know if that's what happened. And she's kind of like downing it. She's like, well, I don't know if that's what happened. And so we have her going through that and just finding out more about the girls' dormitory, girls' boarding school. And then we're also following the girls' boarding school at the time when it was still open, and we have like 4 main characters in that timeline. And this was crazy because we also have like a ghost story that plagues both timelines, and it was freaking scary, bro. Like, it was like literally how it was for this Tandem Hotel, where I was scared. I was like, hold on, because the ghost story, I was like, I'm scared. I was like, I am scared right now, like straight up scared. It's crazy. I liked it. I like Simone St. James stuff, you know, like, I think it's very good. I think she writes very nicely. Like, just, she's a good writer. She's an honest to God good writer, and her plots, they're just good. Like, they're just good plots. Like, I just think that she has a way of having, even though like she's very consistent in what she does, like, and it can borderline be like, oh, maybe it's kind of like boring, she still does it in such a good manner where it's kind of like the ending of like Interstellar and Inception, where it's like, oh my God, it all fits like that. Like, it's so good. It's so good what she does. Even, okay, I don't want to end this on a bad note, but like, I kind of want to do, because I need to rant about this. The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. If I could cuss this book out, I would. This is a Raylo. This is a Raylo fanfic turned published. I started tapping it, right? Like, I gave it like a couple of taps because I was like, I got this, not knowing it was Raylo fanfic, by the way. I got this and everybody was loving it, and I was like, oh wow, it. And then I found out what it was, and I was like, God damn it. This was my book of the month, and I was like, God damn it. But it was too late because it was already shipped and it was coming. And I was like, God damn it. So I was like, you know what? I hate Raylo with passion. But maybe it's not even like, maybe it's just inspired by Raylo, right? Maybe he just like, maybe, I don't know. I was trying to make all these excuses because I'm trying to tell you this so you guys don't think I just went in bias. Like, no, I was actually trying to enjoy it. That's why I started tapping it. Like, I genuinely was coming up with every excuse in the book to pretend that this wasn't a goddamn Raylo ripoff, right? I tried so hard. This was Raylo to a T. And I hate Raylo because, okay, here's the thing. there's one thing if it was Raylo, and there's nothing if it was Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver, right? If it's just Adam, who they play Raylo, they play Rey and Kylo in the Star Wars franchise, whatever. If it's just them, like if it's the actual actors, like I get it, right? Like I ship actors all the time, whatever. They're celebrities. Like I ship them. I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be so cute if they dated their co-star, right? I don't ship Adam and Daisy personally, but sure, yeah, people can do that. So that's why I was like, maybe it's that. No. It's actually Raylo. I hate Raylo so goddamn much, and I don't know how people like this man, right? Kylo literally psychologically tortured Rey to the point where she was screaming in excruciating pain, to the point where she was literally like, I'm going to die here, right? Like mentally tortured her and her friends, not even just her friends as well. And people are like, oh my God, enemies to lovers. Like, she literally hates Kylo so goddamn much because of all of that. This guy literally is insane. He killed his father. He literally wants to kill, like, he's like, like he's a bad person, right? And everybody's like, oh my God, but like she can fix him. Or like, oh my God, like he asked her to come and rule with him. No, she wants to kill him, and she should kill him, right? And because at one point she tried to fix him. She tried to reach out, try to be like, listen, I can help you. Let me help you. Like I maybe like you were like misguided, you know, like maybe you were taken at a young age by this bad guy. Like I can understand it, right? At the point I was like, at that point when I was watching the movie, I was like, okay, maybe. I was like, maybe there is a redemption arc for it, right? Maybe. I don't know. There was a redemption arc for Darth Vader. No, there is no redemption arc for Kylo, because at the end of it, he does some messed up stuff. And I should spoil Star Wars, but I won't, just because it's Star Wars and it's very dear to me. So some of you guys who haven't watched Star Wars, go watch it. It's a good franchise. But he does some messed up stuff that she's like, no, she's like, he's literally a monster. She's like, I was trying to help this guy and he's a monster. So on top of everything that he did, that also happened, right? And so people like, oh, Kylo's they're insane. So like Kylo's always like, oh, like, you know, like he hates everyone else but her, right? Or like, oh, like she could fix him. Really? She tried. And what did he do? Yeah, exactly. Or like grumpy, like, oh my God. And then there are like valid reasons, right? Because everybody's like, yeah, like, okay, even if Kylo and Rey were like somehow ending up together, let's not forget that literally every single one of her friends hate him. Rightfully so, because he is literally scum of the earth. And this one, right? So let's go back to this. This one hits all of the pinpoints of like anti-Kylos's, their arguments, right? Like friends hate him. He's actually genuinely a bad person. He can't be fixed, right? He mentally tortures everybody and glorifies it and like sugarcoats it and like makes you see it through rose-tinted eyeglasses. Like it's just so goddamn stupid. Like just so goddamn stupid, bro. Because there's at one point where Olive's friends, right? So there's Olive and Adam. Olive's friends straight up is like, Olive's friends are like straight up like telling her like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, why would you go out with this guy? Like, we've told you like all these messed up things he's done to us like over the years. Like, why would you think this is a good idea? And you know what she has the audacity to say? You know what the author has the audacity to write? She basically is like, she just says like two things. She's like, but you don't really know him like that, right? And then also she kind of says that, but what got me so mad was she was like, I didn't have anything to do with that. I didn't have anything to like, I wasn't there yet. Like, why are you taking out on me? I was like, I was like, what are you? I was like, hell, what? I was like, if that was in real life, and I told my friend consistently years of this guy literally doing the absolute most, right? Doing just absolute horror to me. And she ends up dating him. I would have been like, so you're condoning it, right? Or you're just like, you just don't care. You just don't care that I literally was psychologically tortured and my academics, right, at one point were literally at stake because I was about to like, because he did like some messed up stuff to her friends, right? Like he literally would like like destroy them in public, like make them, like humiliate them and embarrass them and make them feel stupid, and like shoot down like all of their like thought out well research stuff, right? And Olive would like call, I'd be like, why would you do that? He was like, oh, because I can. Oh, because like, no, because that happened to me and look where I am. I was like, what the hell? So yeah, so she basically tells her friends like, oh, but I didn't do anything. Like, why are you taking that on me? Like, I wasn't there. Like, I didn't tell them to tell you that. I was like, and then they just forget about that. They're just like, oh, whatever. They're like, okay, Olive, you're so funny, whatever. I was like, what the freak is happening right now? I was like, I don't know what the hell's happening in this book right now, and I am furious. Like, there was just so many points of that where, like, there's valid anti-Kylo and anti-Raylo arguments, right? And she just spun it, and I was just like, literally, let me sit down with Olive and I'll set her straight. I was like, I'll set her straight, because I can bet you there are a million other white boys with a six-pack out there. Like, I'm sorry. And then they did the thing where, like, the whole, like, oh my god, he hates everybody but her. It was basically like, oh yeah, like, he's been in love with her since, like, the first time they met, and it was, like, 30 seconds of them meeting, but, like, he loved her so much that, like, he never forgot about her. I was like, what the frick? I was like, what? And in one of the, oh my god, see, I can't even speak. He defends her honor, right? Adam defends Olive's honor. And like Hazel probably did that because in the second one, right? When Ray is basically about to die because of like bad stuff, like Kylo suddenly becomes good, right? And like helps Ray defeat all of them and like kill them all. And then Ray is like, oh my god, like you are good, I knew it. And he's like, no, I just did that because I was going to do that anyways. It's not because of you at all, but I'm gonna end up ruling this empire. Right? Like, I killed them all because I'm going to end up ruling this empire. It wasn't because of you. But if you want to join me, yeah, come join me. And you know why you should join me? Because of your power. Not because of who you are, not because you're an actually good person, but because I need your power to stay in power. And Ray is just staring there like, oh my god, like, you're actually a monster. I literally was going to give it 0 stars. It literally is like that TikTok sound. Like, it is so bad, I would give you a 0. But I can't because Goodreads doesn't let me give you 0 stars. So I'll give you a 1. Like, and honestly, the reason why I gave it a 1 was because of Malcolm and Holden. They were cute. And in my eyes, that's Finn and Poe. So yes, don't give me Kylo don't give me Kylo fanfics. Give me Ray and Jessica, and give me Finn and Poe. Period. So that's my rant about the love hypothesis. So that is it for me. Oh my god, wow, I went through it. 43 minutes, yeah, I went through it. I hope you guys like this. I'm so happy. Like, I've missed talking on camera. And I hope my voice doesn't sound so annoying. I realize that I still sound very much sick. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I will be back soon with my best, worst, disappointing reads of 2021, where I'll have more rants, but also good rants, because I have some good books. Like, some good books I need y'all to read, because they're good. Wow, I talked a lot and really fast. Ugh. I had no coffee. I've had no coffee in me. So now I have to go and eat and do some studying. And I have a group project and I have to email my members and be like, hey, what's up? Like, we have to start doing this like now. I hate group projects. Yes, we still do them in law school. Yeah. So, oh, I got 2 of my grades back already and I got good grades. Okay. I will talk to you guys soon. Follow me on Bookstagram. I will have linked everything on the bottom. I don't have a Twitter anymore, but I do have a Bookstagram, so follow me there if you want to see my Instagram stories. So stay safe. Oh, I still remember it. Stay safe and go read your favorite book for me.